Hi, I'm Personal Trainer Yuji.
You know, even after turning 50, I really want everyone to wear sleeveless tops. Some people might say that it's not cool for an older guy to wear a sleeveless top and that it's not something you should wear at that age. However, I think the psychology behind such comments is likely due to a lack of confidence, which makes them hesitant to wear it. Additionally, there are many ordinary older men in society, and this social norm might make them feel that they can't wear sleeveless tops. But if someone has the body to pull it off, I would encourage them to wear it. I want people to have the body that allows them to wear sleeveless tops. This is definitely achievable. I'm not saying you should wear sleeveless tops everywhere, but maybe when you go to a nearby park or a spacious park, or when you head to the beach, wearing a sleeveless top can look great. It's also cool and comfortable, so I hope to see more people who can wear such clothing. Right now, what I'm wearing is completely casual, more like something for training or sports. I think it's fine to have stripes or something like that, but I want people to incorporate their own fashion into what they wear. However, to do that, I believe you first need to have a fit body, otherwise you won't have the confidence to wear certain things. Today I want to focus on that aspect. To wear sleeveless tops, what do you need? What kind of body should you aim for? Basically, it comes down to the visible areas. It starts from here and goes beyond that. You can't see much from here, right? This top is a bit loose around the upper part, so it doesn't cling tightly to the stomach or anything like that. So, it's not about this area. It really comes down to the visible parts. From here on, it involves the deltoids, biceps, and triceps. However, I don't think it's just about being big and bulky. Just because you're big and muscular doesn't mean you'll look good in a sleeveless top, and I believe that's not the case. What is necessary to wear sleeveless tops is, after all, a toned and defined appearance. I refer to this as the combination line of the deltoids, biceps, and triceps. When viewed from the front, if you apply a bit of tension, you can see that it's not just the biceps. The connection between the deltoids and biceps becomes more pronounced. Additionally, on this side, it's not just the triceps, but also the line between the triceps and the deltoids that becomes clearer. The combination line of these three muscles is indeed an important issue. No matter how big your arms are, if they are bulky and unrefined, it can be difficult to say they look stylish from a fashion perspective. I believe it is essential to create a well-defined combination line. To achieve this, there is one key theme: contraction. The focus is on how to develop the contraction of the deltoids, biceps, and triceps. That's right, even if someone is a bit bulky, if their muscles are just soft and there's no definition when they exert force, that's not good. When they put in a little effort, like when they lean on their hands or do something similar, if their muscles pop out a bit, it looks pretty cool, right? Moreover, if they have well-defined muscles that can contract effectively even when they're not doing anything, the lines of their physique will be more visible, so they won't look oversized. Therefore, it's important to build muscles that can contract and to create that combination effectively. I want to focus on that, but first, as mentioned, the side raise is crucial. Now, I'll explain while sitting. For the side raise, you do it like this. When doing this, the most important thing is whether you can contract correctly. It's easy to get caught up in just lifting the dumbbells, but first, try placing the dumbbells down and think about it. In this position, try raising your arms. Don't raise your shoulders. Instead, keep your elbows slightly unlocked. If you try to raise this area around the elbow, you can see that I am holding it down like this. Can you create the most contraction here? If you can hold it for 10 seconds, you should check if it feels painful or tight in this area. Confirm the point of maximum contraction. Then check if you can perform the side raise to exactly the same point. If you can't do that, it would be better to lighten the weight. If you can't contract to the same point and can only raise it to this level, then it would be better to lighten the weight, even if it is a heavy weight. You can't create a perfect triangle shape, so you need to focus on achieving that triangular form. The trapezius muscles should be well defined, and even without holding anything, you can achieve maximum contraction. Use only the weight that allows you to reach this position in the same way. At the top, make sure to count to 2. When performing the side raise, exhale and take it slowly, counting 1, 2. Always take it slowly here, counting 1, 2. 1, 2, take it slow and just get through it. The one I'm counting now might not feel that long from your perspective, but for me, this stopping time is 1. It's not just 1, 2 while moving. It's different. After I say 1, 2 at the stopped point, I lower it. So I start counting after stopping, saying 1, 2 before lowering it. Therefore, it actually feels quite long. The count of 1 is actually for 1 second, but when you try it, it feels quite long. Regardless, I want to make sure to utilize this contracted time effectively and create a strong contraction. By doing this, when you lower the weight, the line here will become well defined. So focus on achieving a strong contraction at the top and then slowly lower it down. Repeat this for a total of 10 times. Please make sure to maintain that pace until the very end. The situation is such that a line is formed. Furthermore, when doing the shoulder press, contraction is of course important. The most crucial point is that the body must not lean back. This is quite common for those in their 50s, as if the abdomen is not strong or firm. When trying to lift, one may want to contract but cannot, leading to leaning back. Therefore, it is essential to engage the abdomen and exhale to prevent leaning back.
When lifting, focus on your abdomen rather than your shoulders. Think about tightening your core as you lift. If you hold the dumbbell too tightly, you might forget about this. Just let go of everything else. And remember not to hold your breath. You must keep breathing. Tighten your core to ensure your body doesn't lean back. Exhale and inhale as you lift, keeping the movement straight up without leaning forward or backward. Lift it straight up instead of bringing it forward, ensuring that your body doesn't lean back. Should I definitely film this with a small camera? Does my body look as slim as I thought? Make sure to exhale and tighten, preventing your body from leaning back, which will ensure proper contraction. Also, don't lift too high. When you feel you've lifted enough, stop there. Don't push yourself to extend further or think about lifting higher. Once you think you've done it, it's over. If you think it's continuous, it ends here. Furthermore, just like before, it's 1-2 here. Don't lean back, breathe in, and do 1-2 at the top, just like before. It's really tough. The no lean back zone is extremely challenging. However, if you properly create the contraction here, you can achieve a nice definition in this area, which was a bit more to the side before, but now it has a clear shape. And then, regarding the triceps, there are various exercises, but this time, I want you to focus on maximizing the contraction rather than just making your arms thicker. It's important to really emphasize the shape of the contraction, which is often referred to as the horseshoe shape in the world of bodybuilding. It may not sound very cool, but that's what it's called, resembling the shape of a horse's hoof. Additionally, I want to create a clear definition in this area. So, the key point is to focus on contraction. The exercise that allows for the greatest contraction is the kickback. You probably know what a kickback is, but the important thing is whether you can do it correctly. From there, we need to see if you can progress to the more advanced kickback. The key point is whether your arm, from the shoulder to the elbow, is truly horizontal. Please make sure to capture this. It often feels like I'm lowering the weight more than I thought while doing it. I usually do it at this level. With this, it doesn't feel like I'm putting in maximum effort. It feels more like I'm only halfway there. So, I need to really push my elbows up firmly, ensuring that my upper arm, from shoulder to elbow, is completely horizontal or slightly elevated. The elbows should remain completely still as I raise it to horizontal, counting 1, 2, 3, and then lower it. While performing the 2-3 drop, make sure that your elbows do not drop down further by counting to 3. When you lower the weight, it doesn't matter what happens below. When it comes down, there is no load at all, so there's no need to stop here. You don't need to rush through the movement. Take your time with a 3 count. Make sure to spend enough time at the point of maximum contraction, which is at the base of the triceps on one side of your body. When the elbow extends beyond a certain point, there are 2 key areas to consider. Extending the elbow contracts the triceps, but it's not just that. By adjusting the angle here, the triceps will contract even more, which is the most effective position. At 3 o'clock, when the contraction is at its peak and the dumbbell is held here, that's where the most load is applied. This is the best position for contraction. At this peak contraction, using sneakers and counting 1, 2, 3 will help extend the time further. Moreover, taking this to a higher level involves adjusting this position. When you align this battery straight from your body, to be honest, the distance is really significant for the long head of the triceps at the back. You can feel a strong contraction on this side. However, when you look at it this way, you realize that this side is important too. This side is also important, and the indentation here is crucial. If you only focus on this side, it won't activate properly, especially if you maintain a completely vertical position parallel to your body while doing this. However, when the triceps get too tight and feel like they can't contract any further, this sensation arises in the exact position. On the other hand, it feels like there is nothing there. To prevent this, instead of keeping your body completely parallel to the bench, Intentionally open your arms at about 20 degrees, which is just a slight opening, just a little bit, just a feeling of opening up, and then raise your elbows in that position. Now let's do a kickback at a slight 20-degree angle. When you look at the kickback from the front, you can see it clearly. In this position, perform the kickback at a 0-degree angle. It's important to note that it's not here, but when you open it to 20 degrees, it should be at this angle. As you continue, you won't feel that overwhelming sensation I just mentioned. You get a feeling that the lateral head and the long head of the triceps are contracting equally. If you do it at a completely zero angle at 20 degrees, it feels like the long head and the lateral head are contracting equally. When viewed from the back, it's not here, but if you open this up, it feels like it's at this angle. As you continue, you'll find that you go out quite a bit. I want to build this area properly. And while doing kickbacks, the triangular area at the back also gets a good cut. This is essentially a combination line of the triceps and the horseshoe shape. This is important, so please make sure to try it out. Additionally, since we're also working on the biceps, we have arm curls. When doing arm curls, of course, the top contraction is crucial. This contraction is important. Maximizing the contraction is key. Right now, do not allow your elbows to move at all. Keep your elbows raised until they are directly beside your body to create the top contraction. At this moment, what is important is to identify where the maximum contraction occurs, which is directly in front of you. It is almost straight in front of the biceps. It is quite common for this to go outward. When holding a dumbbell, many people tend to let it go this way. The reason for this is, surprisingly, there are many people who seem to be lifting but aren't actually doing so. This is especially true from the front view. The shortest distance from the root of the biceps to the point of contraction is right here. Now, if we consider the small front, there is a small front where the trajectory remains parallel and the palms come up while maintaining this trajectory. This is where the best contraction occurs. With the palms facing the dumbbell horizontally, this is the state we want to achieve. In this state, if you are relaxed, you won't be able to create any contraction, so we will focus on the line directly in front. In that case, please check in the mirror or on your smartphone and then lower it in the same way as before, counting 1 to 2, 3. It should feel like you stop at the count of 3. Let's go ahead and focus on that part. Make sure to keep your form straight and stop at 3 counts. If you do this properly, arm curls are not just for the biceps. While working on the biceps, you will also engage the deltoids in this area. You can see my shoulders condition when I'm not doing anything. Look at how it stands out when I'm doing arm curls. Can you see how the deltoids become more pronounced? That's why doing arm curls is important. The line of the second-class muscle and the surrounding area tends to become more defined. This contraction is easier to achieve, and since this is part of a combination, we perform arm curls with a 3 count at the top. Each exercise has its own points to focus on. If you firmly grasp these points and execute them, each muscle will contract, and the boundaries between them will become clearer. By working on this area diligently, the combination line of these 3 muscles will form, making sleeveless shirts look more stylish. A thick arm that is just bulky isn't sexy, right? So I hope you can create clear distinctions in that area. If you start now and do this method about twice a week for around 2 months, you'll see significant improvement. So please start right away. Let's do our best together.
Please subscribe the channel and follow my Instagram and X. I hope to see you next time. ありがとうございます。